So you just posted a YouTube video, an Instagram reel, or even a TikTok. And a few minutes later, you get your first comment on it. That comment is something that you really didn't expect. Turns out the comment is rude, it's hateful, or it's just overall not supportive to you as a creator and to your content. So, in today's episode, we talk about not letting the haters get to you and what you can do to just use that as motivation rather than looking at it as a negative. What's up, creatives? You are now listening to the Creative Outlet Podcast. I am your host, Real Panda Queen. And over here on the podcast, we pretty much talk about what it's like to be a content creator, the personal experiences, the pros and cons, the overall creative journey, and just the things people don't mention when it comes to stepping foot into the content creation universe. So, let's get into the episode. We're going to be talking about dealing with haters online. And when it comes to being a creative and how you should see it, you should see it more so as a positive thing rather than a negative thing, because that's what they want to do. They want for you to be a downfall in your creative journey. I have a question for you as a creative. Are you letting your haters get to you? If you said yes, then let me tell you this right now. You're doing amazing. And don't let anyone at all, if it's your friends, if it's your family, if it's people on the internet, don't let them get to you, because you are doing amazing. Now, I know you've probably heard that from your supporters, from your audience. You're doing a good job making content, all that type of stuff. But it's you that has to deal with the hate being put on you as a creator, as a human being. Okay? So I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, just, don't let it get to you. It's hard. It's hard. I have dealt with hate before on my videos, on my TikTok. And let me tell you something right now. Every platform is brutal. Okay? I feel like Instagram and YouTube are brutal when it comes to comments. You can do a 5-second clip over on Instagram and get so many hateful comments on it because they just want to, and I'm going to say this too, they just want to hear themselves talk. They just want to speak on your content just to be like, oh, I think I'm pretty cool. I'm going to say this right now too. And I'm being a little bold in this episode, so get ready. I'm going to be bold and blunt, okay? So, people are tough behind a keyboard when it comes to wanting to downplay on someone. That's cyberbullying. People want to be bold and confident behind a screen, behind a keyboard, okay? Because when you go to them, and some people expose their haters. Now, I don't want to really do that. I've seen videos of people like, yeah, I'm exposing my haters and all that type of stuff. I'm not really for that, but you do you. But people are always going to judge you regardless of what you do. People will have a perception on you. People want to throw their opinions on you just to hear themselves speak. Just for them to be like, oh yeah, let me just put my comment on here because this is the truth and this is how I feel and la di 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 da. Okay? The fear of judgment is a scary thing. Okay? I'm gonna tell you guys a story that has happened to me, and happened to me recently actually. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to MomoCon and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna vlog for the first time. I'm gonna get a tripod, I'm gonna get my camera, I'm gonna get a mic, and I'm gonna vlog out in the public eye. First time. Never done vlogging before. I've watched vlogs before and things like that, but I'm doing it. Okay? Now, going into it, I was excited. But as I got to Atlanta, And as I was starting to have second thoughts, because I'm like, what if I'm being an annoyance to somebody while I'm just trying to do something that I love? There are people looking at me. There were people looking at me. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. There were people looking at me. Like, I'm not gonna assume they were like side eyeing me or whatever, but there were people like looking at me in ways that I felt a bit uncomfortable as far as like making my videos and stuff, because I'm just trying to have a good time. Okay. And the fear of judgment can really get to people. I'm not gonna lie. It got to me, but I still pushed through and I made the vlog. So I just want to say, don't let, and I know I'm saying this over and over again, but it's a mentality thing. The fear of being judged happens to a lot of us. Happens to everyone, to be honest. And when you're a creative, you're signing up to put yourself out there. When it comes down to your voice, showing your face, showing your ideas, you are putting yourself out there, and you are going to be perceived in different ways because people are going to share their opinions about you and about your content, regardless of what it is. Don't let that fear get to you. You can't let others get to you and stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay? And yeah, it's all a mentality thing. I know I'm saying this, and I know you've probably heard people on YouTube and people on TikTok talk about just don't let them get to you. And guys, I'm just trying to tell you guys that it's hard. It's easier said than done. And it takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes good mentality. Okay? I'm not trying to feel like I'm a broken record repeating this over and over again to y'all, but I'm just keeping it real that it's going to take time. It all comes down to, are you practicing the way of not letting haters get to you? What are you doing to practice that mentality? I'm just going to tell you this as a positive note. If you got haters in on your content creation journey, which you will, trust me, I'm telling you this right now, you're going to receive some kind of hate because people don't want to see you grow. But if you're receiving some kind of haters in your life, that just means you're killing the game. Okay? That just means you're killing it on the platform and they're following you and stuff like that. Now, I will tell you this. If they are starting to harass you and things like that, ban them. Okay? Don't even bother messing with like, but if it's like little petty comments, okay? That just means you're killing the game. Like, oh, so you must like me so much that you want to you want to comment on my stuff, these little petty comments. Like I said earlier, people are very bold behind a screen. But oh my goodness, I said screen. People are very bold behind a screen and behind a keyboard. Okay? Because if you really met that person IRL and be like, hey, so you commented on my stuff and I just want to know why, I don't think they'll have that same energy. All right. Also, when it comes with dealing with haters, make sure you're not a hater yourself. We can be our own haters to ourselves. Worst critics is the word I'm looking for. We can nitpick at our own content. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. With this podcast, for example, when I take the podcast into post editing and I listen back and I watch the podcast through, listen through the podcast and all that stuff, sometimes I'd be like, is this really worth it? Sometimes I'd be like, what if this doesn't come as clearly across as I want it to be for listeners? You have to take the shot and just post it, because you never know who this can impact. You don't even have to be a creator listening to this podcast, but you don't know what could impact someone's day and be a motivation for someone's life. And that's how I look at it. It's like, I have a voice to speak on things that I feel heavy about. I have a voice to speak on things because I love helping people and I love keeping it real with people, because maybe I didn't have that growing up, or maybe People didn't have that growing up because there is a thing called sugarcoating and wanting to take baby steps in conversations. So it's like, let me tell you that I'm not perfect. And let me tell you that I'm struggling with you. We're all on the same boat here. We're creators and we have emotions. And we have to be on our good mentality game because it's hard out here. Nobody's perfect. Your content is never going to be perfect, but it will make someone's day. Okay, I want to bring up another point. Remember when I said earlier that some people want to engage in the negative content, like with the negative comments and stuff? I say don't. Because I think that's what they want you to do. They want to get that out of you. They want to be like, oh, look, they want the attention. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. They want the attention of you responding to their negative comments in such a way of like pettiness or in a way of frustration or whatever the case may be. They want to like comment bait you. That's how I see it. When it comes to putting your content out there on the internet, don't let the internet change you. Okay. I know it's hard I know it's hard wanting to please everyone on the internet and wanting to make content that's going to draw people in. But it's not worth it. Okay. Someone's not going to like your content and you can't please everyone. So what's the point of changing for the internet's purpose if whatever you do, something's going to be said about it regardless. So even if you did change, even if you could change, you're going to burn yourself out wanting to please everyone because you may be like, oh, I want to make content to please this part of my audience right here. But then this part of my audience don't like it. And then another part of my audience is a bit iffy about it. And it's going to burn you out mentally. It's going to burn you out emotionally. And it's going to burn you out physically trying to do different stuff to please your people, please your audience. So I'm just going to tell you this. People are going to think your stuff is cringe. People are going to be like, oh, look at that. Why are they're talking to a camera and on a mic or something. Okay. They're going to be like, oh, they're just one of those creators, so-called creators or whatever the case may be. People are going to think it's cringe until you become successful in it. People are going to think it's cringe until they see you being successful in it. And then later on, they're going to be like, oh, so this is what you were doing. Congratulations. Where was that? Okay. Where was that same energy at when I was doing it before I got big? Because you're going to. Even if it's not like huge celebrity big, you're going to get there. Okay. The motivation, the mentality you put into it, you're going to get there. And don't let those fake people in. Like I said, I'm being bold, guys. Don't let those people in who weren't there for you in the beginning. And I mean that when it comes to people on the internet. I mean that when it comes to family. I mean that when it comes to friends. Okay? Because you may be dealing with people who don't even support you, who are living with you, who are in your life right now. They may not support you on that. And is that really the support you want later on in your life when you become big and when you become successful in it? Because you will. You will. All right, people, that's all I have for today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go rate us on wherever you're listening to this: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And be sure to follow the podcast at The Creative Outlet Podcast on all socials. And if you want to get to know me as a creator, as the host, as a streamer, make sure to follow me at Real Panda Queen over on the socials. Anyways, I love you guys. Stay humble, stay blessed, and remember to keep on creating. All right, guys. Bye.